already lined up downtown for your jerseys and you're selling tickets here like crazy. What does that mean, first of all, to you? And do you get a sense of what your selection means to this city?
I mean, it means a lot to me. Obviously, getting a lot of support already, but there's work that needs to be done. There's things that need to be done in order to really create that demand. So I'm very excited to be here. Very excited to be a part of this organization. I think I speak for both me and Justin whenever just on the way in, on the ride here. Very eager, very excited to get in and really get the ball rolling.
Johnny, what do you say to people that wonder about your ability to adapt to the NFL? Maybe not look off receivers and things. Is that a concern?
Oh, not at all. For me, I'm continuing to get better as a football player, and I didn't go into this process saying I had it all figured out, or I obviously knew there was times where I needed to play with more structure, and I think I'm in a situation now where having Coach Loggins, Coach Shanahan, guys that will help me become a better football player all around.
Johnny, you come to Cleveland, you basically have the weight of the franchise and the weight of a hopeful fan base on your shoulders. How has your experience playing at College Station, basically living under the microscope for 2 years, prepared you to come to Cleveland and take on this responsibility?
I'm used to that. That's been my life for a while now. So for me, the spotlight, the expectations, everything that comes along with that, I was used to that at A&M, and I think that directly helps me what I'm getting into moving forward. And the NFL is in the way that the league is and how big of a deal it is. It's bigger than I'm sure I know, but we'll find out. But I think that I've been prepared by the past that'll help me moving forward.
Johnny, how would you have to adjust your game to withstand the punishment in the NFL, but yet still be effective? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, I mean, I played in a very tough conference. I believe the best in the country, and saw last night a bunch of those guys are going in the first round of the NFL draft. And I haven't missed a game. I've hardly missed any practices. There's times where I have been a little banged up, but at the same time, I know when there's times where I have to lay out and try to make a play for this team, and there's times where I have to chalk it up and get down. I can only help this team if I'm healthy and if I'm able to play.
Hey Justin, how about you? Welcome to Cleveland, and what are you going to do to make this a better defense?
Just learn from the older guys. Joe Hayden's awesome. I mean, he's an awesome cornerback and Pro Bowl cornerback, and he's a guy that I can learn a lot from. So I'm just going to come in and not try to do too much, study film, what I need to do to get done here to help the team be a better defense.
I'm sorry. Coach Pettine last week, they said you were a perfect fit for their defensive style. A lot of man, not a lot of coverage too. Just talk about how you fit in with this defense.
Yeah, he told me that. I mean, it's going to be a lot of men, and that they were looking for a guy that could play a press man and run with receivers downfield and make plays on the ball. So I think I'm a perfect fit here.
Hey, Johnny, there's so much talk about your life off the field. Do you have to learn to balance on and off? And you know, all these coaches talk about they want a quarterback who's the first one in, last one out. Are you that guy?
I think I know that moving forward I need to put in an immense amount of time to be as good as I want to be. And those off the field things, even going back in the last year, never cut into my time at Texas A&M or time with my teammates. I think if you ask those guys, they know how much I care and how much time I put into trying to make that team as good as possible. And going here, there's a gap that I have to close of learning the offense and getting caught up to speed with guys who have an advantage of playing. Obviously a rookie, and I need to put an immense amount of time in to be good, and I firmly believe that.
Hey Johnny, can you talk a little bit about, you know, when we see the persona, you know, the pictures with Drake, and you know, and here you're friends with Kyrie and LeBron, and you know, are you, you know, is that you know, kind of who you are, and are you bringing some of that sort of star power and sort of celebrity big life thing here to Cleveland with you?
You know, I don't think about that a whole lot. Just those guys have been awesome to me, and people that I've reached out to them, they've reached out to me, and we've kind of had friendships and developed friendships over the past year and a half, and guys that treat me really well. And so I don't look at it as celebrity or star or anything like that. I look at it as just have guys that really care about me, or friends that happen to be in a bigger spotlight. I know I love being involved with sports, so guys like Kyrie and LeBron, great athletes, and I love watching basketball. I mean, I think any guy in our position loves listening to music, and Drake's a guy that makes very good music. So these guys reach out to me, I reach out to them, and we've just become friends. And I think it's extremely cool, and I'm very glad to have them in my corner.
What is that little thing you do? You explain that stuff.
I knew I'd probably get this question eventually. So me and Ben Molina, who was a running back with us this year, I was redshirting, and we used to always just do this as kind of a handshake back and forth. And then when I got a chance to meet Drake, we had a group of friends, and it would kind of just be our signature handshake. And this year it really just took off. So kind of a mix between me and Ben Molina kind of starting it, and then really it took off when Drake and his whole crew were starting to do it. So it's something it's fun. It doesn't have a whole lot of meaning, but it's kind of taken off now.
Hey Johnny, is being Johnny Football ever a burden for you? And how do you stop it from being so?
I think I'm Johnny Manziel. I mean, Johnny Football is what I am in the media and what is out there, and I accept it. I'm very accepting of it, and at the same time, I know who I am. I'm Johnny Manziel, Kerrville, Texas. So I don't let that get to me too much, or let all that weigh me down, or ever make me lose any sleep at night.
Johnny, are you expecting to be the starter on opening day 2014? Is that your goal?
I mean, I have very high goals. I have no expectations going into this. I know that my main goal right now is to come in and work extremely hard and try and get better as a football player. I know, like I said, there's a gap that needs to be bridged, a learning curve that I have to adapt to. So obviously look at the quarterbacks that we have here, Brian and Vince now, and the guys that are here. I feel like I can learn a lot from them, guys who've been in the league and can teach me a lot. So these guys are my teammates now moving forward, and I'm very eager to be interacting with them and learning from them.
Now that you're here, would you try to get LeBron to come back?
I don't think I can do that.
Bill Farmer said last night that when they decided they were going to take you, he texted Brian Williams, and Williams' response was, "Bring it on." What do you think when you hear that?
I wouldn't expect anything less. I mean, you look at the guy and you hear some things he says. He's a competitive guy, and obviously I haven't got a chance to speak to him or get a chance to meet him yet. But I feel like that's exactly what I want in a teammate, a guy that's very competitive, and I wouldn't expect anything less.
Justin, who do you compare yourself to, or who do you look up to in the NFL? Guys that you look to kind of tailor your game?
Currently in the NFL right now.
I'm sorry?
Currently?
Yeah.
I'd say probably Patrick Peterson. Physical corner, can play man-to-man, every receiver downfield, plays the ball in the air extremely well. And he's somebody I style my style of play out.
The other thing,
Go ahead, Tom.
just the surreal last 24 hours. You're the 8th or 9th pick, and yet you feel kind of weird here with Johnny. It's like, you think all these people are here for you? Or
Yeah.
how are you dealing with that?
I told him walking in, I was like, that's a good thing that he's with me now because that takes all the pressure off of me. So, but I mean, I was on my way back to the hotel and heard his name. Well, I think my mama, somebody told me that we had Johnny Manziel, so I let down the window and started screaming. Cleveland Browns, we're here. So I'm excited to be on his team and expect nothing but the best from him.
Johnny, what area of your game, after going through the Gruden camp and working with your quarterback coach and everything, what area of the game do you feel you need to improve on as you move to this level?
Yeah, I feel for me, I can continue to get better in the pocket, and I feel more comfortable. There's times where I need to play within the confines of going forward this offense and take what's really given. And there's times where bailed out a little early, or just getting more comfortable in the pocket, continuing to work on my footwork, and being more consistent all around is what I'm going for.
What about the weather here in Cleveland and Pittsburgh and Cincinnati and Baltimore? Is that something that is a concern to you or no?
No, not at all. I mean, I have big hands. I feel like I have control on the ball, able to grip it and football, really anywhere you play in the NFL, you're going to have cold weather games. You're going to go to some harsh climates, and it's not going to always be perfect weather every day. So you just play with the weather at hand, and you deal with it.
John, you talked about adapting the offense to your skills and not being moving toward you being the offense. What would you tell Kyle Shanahan? How would you mold this offense with this quarterback?
I think the people here in this organization have put Coach Shanahan and put these people in charge that know what they're doing, and you look at what he did with RG3. That was a lot of fun to watch him that year, and he's very innovative, very creative. So for me coming in, I feel like he'll do what he seems fit for me, and what works for me. I think they'll play to my strengths, but at the same time continue to help me get better in my areas of weakness.
John, how are you a different person than you were a year ago at this time? How are you different as a person than 1 year ago too?
I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot through just living my life, and month by month, day by day, just different lessons and different circumstances that have gone on, and just growing up. I'm 21 years old. I'm continuing to grow up, and I feel like this organization, the people that I have around me right now, continuing to do that, and very excited about what the future has in store.
Justin, did you also play corner in high school, or you were strictly quarterback?
I was a quarterback.
Yeah.
So, I would start like a series on defense, and if they didn't really have any threats at receiver, then I just come out to keep from getting hurt. So I played a little bit in high school.
And how much of a learning process has been these last couple of years? Because the one thing that you need to work on is your technique. Is that something you agree on?
That's something that's still in play right now. Something I work on every day, because you can never be too perfect at corner with technique. That's the most important thing.
Hey, Johnny, they talk about you having an it factor. What would you say is the quality about you that makes you so captivating to people?
Yeah, I play with a lot of heart, a lot of passion. This game means everything to me, and it doesn't matter whatever the situation is. I want what's best for this team, and I want to win. I think that's the main thing for me, is I want to continue to try and be a winner. I just don't handle losing very well, and the way that I was taught to play the game from high school, the first time I ever touched the football, you play the game hard, you play it passionate, and you bust your tail every day to try and get better. And really thankful to my coaches back in Kerrville, back in high school, that have helped really instill that in me.
Johnny, I saw a stat that said you're the first round quarterback drafted the first round under 6 feet since 1953. Do you have a reaction to that? Do you take that as a challenge, or think it's a daunting prospect for you?
I guess you can measure height, but you can't really measure heart. So I feel like I play way bigger than 5'11", and for me, all that does is it means even more. This is the team that did select me, and that's just a stat. At the same time, I'm going to play extremely hard to make up that difference. And I don't think you have to be a certain height to be successful.
Johnny, I know you say you just happen to have famous friends. Not everybody's followed around by TMZ, paparazzi, that kind of thing, photographing you at a lot of major events. How do you, when you come into the building here with teammates, how do you assure them or show them that you're not above it?
Yeah, obviously I'm a rookie coming in, so I'm a low guy on the totem pole, and I know my place, and more than anything I need to show these guys with actions other than words or anything I could say to earn their respect. And it really is all about earning these guys' respect who've been in this league, and they've gone through the process, and they've earned their respect to get to where they are today. And I understand that I'm the low guy on the totem pole, and it's going to take some time for me and these guys to get familiar with me, but I'm going to do all that I can to try and make these guys comfortable with me every day, and know that I want what's best for this team, and I'm going to come in and work extremely hard.
Do you feel like you're being
Any kind of extra attention or any kind of circus atmosphere during training camp?
Shouldn't. I'm just as normal as everybody else in my eyes, hopefully in everybody else's as well.
Who are the quarterbacks you've studied most that are in the NFL or have been in the NFL?
I mean, I looked at a lot at Tom Brady going out while I was in San Diego. I just feel like everybody watches Peyton this year and the year he had. So those two guys are really fun to watch, and you can learn a lot from them. And whether it's nitpicking little things, you can tell why they're so good. And Russell Wilson's another guy this year that was really fun to watch. I feel like what he did in the Super Bowl, not making every play, but making the ones that he needed to for his team, even in little instances. Extending the drive on third downs, and not turning the ball over. I feel like that's a huge thing that he does that really sticks in my mind every time I get a chance to watch him. You keep the ball in your team's possession, you give yourself a lot better chance of winning and making those plays when you need to.
How did you celebrate last night, Johnny?
I had my family. I got to spend some time with my family, a great group of friends, and it was a great time. It was a lot of relief, a lot of weight off all of our shoulders, and it's great to know we're coming into a place like this.
Let me ask you, because there's a picture here online of you with a bottle of champagne.
I'm 21 years old.
Hey, Johnny, you were mobbed, every move, every minute, every sneeze when you were in college. Do you anticipate that it's going to be like that? Obviously, they were following you around a little bit last night. But is it going to be like that here, or do you think now that you're in the NFL, some of that might dissipate? Do you hope it does? How do you handle all that?
I'm going into this expecting it to be multiplied, expecting it to be bigger. And if it's less, then good. I don't think it could be more than what I have imagined in my head. So going into it expecting madness, and if it is, it is. If it's not, we'll handle that in stride.
It seems like you embrace and rise up the bigger the stage. Where does that come from? Some players, some people shrink, when the stage is bigger. You seem it brings out the best in you. Do you agree with that?
I absolutely do. I feel like the bigger the stage, just the more energized, the more passionate I am. I mean, it's great to have those bright lights, the big stage, the big game, the big moments. It's what you live for, being a quarterback.
Johnny, did you hear the story about the Cleveland homeless guy saying, that they should be there? If you ever reacted to that?
I have not heard the story, but I'm glad he's lobbying for me.
Justin, 9 defensive backs were taken in the first round, the most of any position in the first round. Your thoughts on how the game is evolving in the NFL and the importance of cornerbacks and safeties and the fact that you were taken at number 8?
I think cornerbacks and quarterbacks are great quality players on each team. So if you can get those guys early, then that's something that you should do. And it's something that we did here and was able to get Johnny too. And that's just a blessing. So I mean, a lot of teams are trying to style their play after the Seahawks last year, and I think that's something we're going to be able to do here.
Justin, did you follow Johnny in college, and what were you thinking then, and what do you think it'll be like to play on the team?
Who didn't follow him in college? I think everybody did. So it's just a blessing to be here, and I plan on hanging out with him a lot and learning from him and what his life is like.
Justin, can you have a teammate like Johnny with everything that goes around him? Would that be good for a team to have? I don't know.
Oh yeah, I think it'll be good for a team to get some that haven't been getting as much publicity to start getting it now. So I think he's bringing that to this team, and I'm looking forward to it.
Johnny, do you feel like you need to tone down Johnny football at all, the persona at this level?
For me, I know I need to put all my time right now. The main thing in my life is football and trying to be as good a quarterback as possible. So everything else is just extra, and really there's no time for it right now. So I'm very committed to expanding my knowledge of the game and getting better as a quarterback, and that's my focus right now.
You've already started to change a little bit of your social media habits, haven't you? Some of the stuff pictures that you would put out younger. Did someone tell you to do that, or was it just something that you realized you had to start doing?
I mean, like I said, I'm growing up, and I saw firsthand today's age and social media can be a great thing, and it could also be a negative, and I lived that, and that's kind of what I was speaking on earlier. Is I learned lessons through that, and now moving forward, just being smarter with that, but still using it to talk to fans, to expand this team's brand, to do what's best for this organization, and really I think it helps. So being smarter with it and using it the correct way is what I wanted to do, and that was a decision that I made just from learning from the mistakes I made in the past.
Does there come a point when it feels like your head's ready to explode because you have to digest all these playbooks and talk to every coach and his brother to prepare for the draft?
There was a time the draft process it was a little long, especially with it being back, pushed back a couple weeks. Same time, I really enjoyed it, and meeting coaches that you would only see on TV or win Super Bowls or whatever it was very, very cool to sit down and get to talk football with guys who are so knowledgeable and who have done so much.
Have you seen that TMZ photo that we're talking about with the champagne from last night? And if you have seen it, do you kind of look at that now and you're like, oh geez, you know, what can I do? This is just part of my life, or does it affect you in any way? Are you upset about something like that?
No, ma'am. I mean, for me, it was a time to celebrate. I mean, a lifelong dream of mine had been fulfilled, and to go and go out with my family and spend time with them and come so far since Tyler, Texas, and the days in Kerrville. It's been a long ride, and we worked really hard to get here. So to go out and do that with my family and friends and people that have been along this ride with me for so long, I feel like it was very warranted, and there wasn't a thing wrong with it in my eyes.
Hey, Justin, what do you remember about Brandon Whedon?
Great guy. We used to call him Pawpaw on the team because he was so old. He was almost older than Coach Gundy, but he's a great guy to be around, great leader. He can bring a lot to any team that he goes to, so a lot of people can learn a lot from him.
Got time for just a few more.
There have been 20 different starting quarterbacks since 1999 here in Cleveland, and just your thoughts on that, and are you hoping number 21 maybe is the lucky number?
Oh, I've seen a picture of a jersey with names on the back, and it's like that long. It's like that long. So hopefully, for me, I have goals for myself, expectations, but I feel like if I put in the time necessary and I do what I'm supposed to do and really open myself up to these coaches and let them teach me and mold me into being a good football player and continue to build on what I did the past couple of years as far as getting better year by year, piece by piece, that I'll have some success. I believe that.
Yesterday you said that you felt it was meant to be that you ended up here in Cleveland and your dog pound and all that. Why is that? Why did it seem like it fit for you?
It just seems so fitting, and it starts all with, we're going to be in this building a lot, going to be with these coaches for the next years to come, and the main thing about that is getting comfortable with everybody from top to bottom, from Coach Pettin to Coach Shanahan, Coach Loggins, guys, everybody in the building, players that I saw while I was on my visit. And then you also look at the fan base and how loyal they are, how passionate they are, and really an incredible fan base that has those qualities that I feel like I possess and play with on the field. And just really for me, being able to bring some excitement that just comes with where I've been and how things have gone in my life. So to bring that here, that's why I feel like it's meant to be. I feel like it's just a perfect storm.
How do you keep the ego in check? I mean, you're sitting next to a guy who got picked 14 spots ahead of you, who screamed out the car window and said, "Who did follow?" How do you keep
I mean, I feel like for me, I'm very blessed to be in this situation. I'm very humbled by being a first-round draft pick. I mean, whether it was 1, 32, I mean, obviously I wanted to go in the first round, but for me the main thing is football, and whether it was the first pick in the draft or the last pick in the draft, I just want to play football. And luckily for me, we get a great corner in this year's draft. We have a solid team that's continuing to Mr. Farmer and Coach Pettin and everybody from the top are working to build, and they want to win. So I feel like what we have going on here is something that could be good moving forward.
Everyone, we got time for one last question. General Ryder.
Hey, Justin, you also play a spotlight position, cornerback. You either make the play, you're the hero, you don't make the play, and you're not the hero. How do you handle that spotlight, much like Johnny has to deal with being out there on that island by yourself?
Yeah, it's all about confidence playing this position and not giving up the big plays. and having a short-term memory. So when you give up a big play, you gotta put it in the back of your head and be ready to make a play on the next drive. So just having a short-term memory at this position is something that's big that you gotta have.
Justin, Johnny, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody.